And welcome to Just for Clicks, guys. This is Michael Buckheister, and this is live Raw and Uncut Sports Talk. I am here with my host, my friend, my brother from another mother, Mike LeBlanc. First things first, Mike, how are you doing this morning? Or this afternoon? Or evening?
Oh, shit. This is morning. Oh, you got me all confused. I'm doing great, man. I had a really productive day today at work, and had a really epic nap before the show.
Man, aren't afternoon naps just like the best? Like,
yeah, they really are. And I don't get to take them. It's like once in a blue moon that I get to take a nap, but I did today, and it was amazing. I didn't even want to get up and do the show. I was like, it feels good to lay here.
I have been in quarantine for like 3 weeks here, and every day about 2:30 in the afternoon, I lay on my couch and I just pass the F out. I'm not even tired. Like, I just lay there. I throw on a blanket. The kids are asleep. I am out 100%. I don't know what it is at all, but my couch does it to me every afternoon, and my wife gets pissed off at me. But whatever.
Are you really on lockdown still?
So Indiana and Kentucky, obviously border each other. I live on the Indiana side, but I work over on the Kentucky side. Indiana's like, yeah, you guys can go do whatever you want. You can go to the bars and have a good time, and Kentucky's like, if you guys leave the state, we're locking you down for 14 days. We don't care what you say. But it is absolutely ridiculous. Kentucky is probably like one of the worst states out there. Let's be totally honest. The only thing good that comes from Kentucky,
whiskey,
and the Kentucky Wildcats. That is it. But if you guys are new,
I don't know about the Kentucky Wildcats, but
how many championships have they won versus Texas? I just want to put that out there.
It doesn't matter.
I'm wearing my K-State hat. But if you guys are new here, consider liking, subscribing to the YouTube channel. Just for Clicks YouTube channel. Find us on iHeartRadio, iTunes, and Spotify as well. Also, starting next week on Sunday night, we'll be on Charm Direct TV. So be sure to over there and check that page out as well. But we have to start with the very special segment that is getting ready to come out here.
And now, Mike's Thoughts.
All right, man. Okay, listen to this. I've had it up to here already. All right. Everybody and their mama, even all these damn pundits on ESPN, on NFL, on even everywhere, everybody's saying that they're already crowning the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as they're going to be Super Bowl champions. Why? Because you got Tom Brady. Come on, man. I know Tom Brady is a great quarterback. I'm not going to take anything away from him. He's a great system quarterback. But let's be honest, Tom Brady is at the end of his career. It's going to take a lot more than just Tom Brady to turn them around from 7-9 to, they're going to have to at least have a 13-3, 14-2 record to even win that division. So can we stop already crowning the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Can we do it, please? I saw a poll, or not a poll, but I saw a thing today on NFL.com where they were ranking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as the fourth team in the league. All they got was Tom Brady and Gronk. Yes, I know they've got Mike Evans and they've got some playmakers, but Tom Brady does not account for all of those wins. So stop the madness, please.
And that is what is on Mike's mind currently to start today's show. And Mike, I have to agree with your take there 100%. It is absolutely asinine that one person, a 42-year-old, can change the whole dynamic of the whole NFL. Like, I mean, he could be the GOAT, or he could be just a great system quarterback too. I mean, only time will tell. Season starts in August. But, Mike, we got a new segment for the people today, and it is called What The? We are going to come with some thoughts with you and be like, what the? So let's get started, man.
Let's go.
for today's What The. Have you guys been living under the rock the last couple of days? The NFL is supposed to be voting on all this crap that is happening. First of all, was the Rooney Rule. That got shelved because it looked bad for the NFL. But now they're supposed to vote on the new onside kick thing. Earlier today, it has come out that the new onside kick proposal by the Philadelphia Eagles, instead of having an onside kick, you have the ball on the 25 or 30-yard line, wherever they kick off from. I don't remember off the top of my head. But you have a 4th and 15, basically. So you have one play to gain 15 yards. If you gain 15 yards, you get the ball back. If you get stopped, the defense obviously gets the ball to where they are stopped. So just to add some context to this, in 2018, only 8% of onside kicks were recovered. 2019, only 6% of onside kicks were covered. Absolutely ridiculous. Because of the new rule change, you have to put even amount of players on the same side. You have to... you can't do that fake kick stuff. You have to tell them basically where you're going to kick it, just for safety rules and whatnot. It's absolutely stupid, absolutely asinine. So, Mike, do you like the possibly change of this?
I don't like it. I don't, because it can turn a game around. You know, you have, you know how sometimes when you have teams that they're coming back and it's late in the fourth quarter and they score that last touchdown and there's like 45 seconds left on the clock.
Right.
And they get this 4th and 15, and then all they got to do now is kick a field goal to win the game, because that's basically what it is, right? Because they're kicking off from their what is it? Their 35.
I think
right?
it's the 30. Yeah.
So now you get that first down and puts you at the 45. You know, another play or two, and you're in field goal range. And you just make they're messing with the integrity of the game too much.
Wait, like are you like, we're seeing these highlights of like old onside kicks that they would have like 8 or 9 players on one side of the field saying stop me if you can. Back then, the onside kicks were successfully recovered 15% of the time. Since they changed the rule, it was 8% in 2018 and 6% in 2019. This totally takes the onside kick out of the game 100%. The onside kick is a game changer.
It is.
It is a complete game changer. So why not give the ability for
think
a
about
offense?
it. No, think about this. Think about this for a second. Take this out of the equation. Did the Saints win that Super Bowl? Because remember, they came out after halftime and kicked an onside kick and got it.
Right.
And and in my opinion, that was the turning point of that game. So now they're just messing with. I understand player safety. I get it. But you get paid millions and millions and millions of dollars to have your body beat up. Suck it up, Buttercup.
But on the flip side of that, the NFL is getting sued for millions and millions of dollars for all the CTE crap and people killing other people because of CTE. I mean, the NFL is taking big shots at this. I mean, like, if you want to get down to it, they just simply want to take the kicking aspect of the game out of it. I mean, like, I really like how they changed the overtime rules, saying that if a first team kicks a field goal to try to win the game, the other team still has a chance to win the game. I totally like that, because I hated, you got the ball, you can drive, you can move the ball 20 yards and you win the game with the freaking field goal. Who cares about that? Take kicking out of it. I love this 4th and 15 idea. As a Kansas City Chiefs fan, give Patrick Mahomes the ball 4th and 15. Give him a chance to win my team like a game. I don't want a kicker. I don't want Adam Vinatieri to try to get me the ball back. 6% of the time. Come on.
No,
absolutely ridiculous.
No, do not take it out. This is horseshit.
It is horseshit because you are an old school player. You are an old school fan. You probably still want them headshotting the quarterback and killing people over the middle, right?
No. I mean, I do love to see a quarterback get his head knocked off every once in a while, and I do like those shots over the middle as long as they're fair. But man, you're there. They're just messing with the integrity of the game too much. Like,
not
I mean,
not to get too
they might as well.
here.
They might as well just attach flags to him and just let him play flag football.
I mean, that's basically what it comes down to. Did you see that playoff game? Or what? I don't think it was a playoff game. But Tom Brady has his face mask. Didn't even touch the guy just breezed it,
brushed it, and it was
15-yard personal foul. Like, what is that going on?
You know, it's because Brady has all those referees in his pocket. But
Patrick Mahomes got a call like that too. Like, he got killed the play before, but then like the following play, like they like rubbed his ankle and like, oh, you got too close. So I mean, it's like, it is definitely protecting the stars of the NFL. Let's be honest. But not to get too sidetracked here, but that hitting over the middle, I am a big fan of that. I play linebacker in college, safety up at the CFL. I love killing mofos coming over the middle. That was my absolutely dream job. Did you hear what James Harrison said on a podcast, saying that Tomlin gave him an envelope after that big hit on that Cincinnati Bengal like a couple years ago?
I did not.
So apparently, no, it was Bengal or a Browns game, I think it was. But James Harrison killed a dude coming over the middle of the field, and then after the game, Tomlin gave him a envelope, presumably full of money. Be like, hey man, like, this is for you, type of thing. Not as a bounty, I don't think, but it was probably just to pay off his fine, like because he ultimately did get fined like $75,000. But that could be a what the, like, why are you saying that? Like, why are you trying to like tarnish your reputation? Like, hey, I got a bounty gate. Like, that's stupid.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Look at the Saints.
But did that really tarnish the Saints?
I think it tarnishes Sean Payton's reputation a little bit.
Reputation, well, but it wasn't Sean Payton though. It was their defensive coordinator.
Yeah, but I mean, it's Sean Payton was still suspended for it.
True,
it happened under his watch.
Yeah. Do you believe that head coaching should get like, suspended, like for 100%? You really think so?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, think about it. Let's put it down in terms me and you understand. Okay, you're the CEO of the company.
Right.
Your employee does something really effed up. Who's that fall on? If you're doing something for a client, your client's not going to want to hear, well, Steve messed up. I'm sorry. No, the client doesn't want to hear that. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. I definitely hear what you're saying, but at the same time, that is a different whole entirely aspect of it. If your assistant coach is buying hookers for your basketball team, Louisville, should the Rick Pitino get in trouble?
You're damn right. You should know about that.
Which he did, and he's still getting in trouble for it because he can't keep his mouth shut. But guys, we're going to take a quick little break here. After the break, Mike and Mike are going to do a Mike and Mike debate. Is Super Bowl championship really defining of greatness? Find out right after the break.
Let's go. Brand new Lamborghini, the cop car. With a pistol on my hip like I'm a cop. Have you ever met a real rock star? This ain't no guitar, but this a clock. My God told me to promise you gon' squeeze me. Better let me go the day you need me. So put me on that, get the bus. And if I ain't enough, go get your
And welcome back to Just for Clicks, guys. We can't let that play too long because last time I got a copyright strike and they're wanting to take down our video, man. Like, what is that all about?
Whoa.
They're like, well, you can't play an edited version of a song. It's got to be the gangster rap version. But whatever. If you guys are new here, find us on iTunes, Just for Clicks. Leave us a ranking. Subscribe to that as well. We upload podcasts 5 times a week. What other show does that? Very, very few. If you guys are new here, check out RTS Sports Network as well. On there, guys, there's great talent. There's Twist. I want to call out Twist later tonight because they said they were the greatest show on the network. Clearly they're not. We put 5 hours of content out a week. They have to have 2 shows and they only get 2 hours of content out like that a week. Absolutely stupid. But Mike, table's all yours, man.
All right. Here's the question. Do championships determine greatness?
Championships as in Super Bowl championships. Pre-show, we were talking about Dan Marino, and I'm going to bring him up first. I've been watching Peyton's Places, and I forgot how dominant Dan Marino was in college and in the NFL. I remember as a young Chiefs fan, like 92 to 96, when Miami would come to Kansas City, they would like always whoop our butt, and I'm like, man, who is this guy like whooping the Kansas City Chiefs butt year in and like year out? The reason why Dan Marino is not in many GOATs conversation is because of what you just said. Is because he doesn't have any Super Bowls. But looking back on it, my eye test tells me that he's better than Tom Brady. He is better than Patrick Mahomes. He might even be better than Joe Montana. And many people say Joe Montana is the best ever because of the 6 Super Bowl rings that he has, or whatever, 5. I don't know how many he has.
I wouldn't go that far.
But greatness is not defined by Super Bowls whatsoever. You can be
now wait a minute. You're
Thanks, Harry.
saying that while I do agree, but
Debate
that's
closed.
just it's not reality. It's just not. It's not reality. Think about it. Let's think about this for a minute. Who's the Dallas Cowboys' greatest quarterback of all time?
Many say Roger Staubach, but I was not in the era or the age of Roger Staubach. First thing that comes to my mind is Tony Romo, to be honest, because he has the best winning percentage. He has the best passer ratings. I mean, I kind of want to chalk that up to a lot of Troy Aikman's first 3 years, where he had like 3 wins in 3 years or something to that effect. So that definitely hurts him a lot. But me personally, the greatest Dallas Cowboy quarterback is Tony Romo, because I also grew up on Tony Romo. You can say.
I would agree. I think Tony Romo is a better quarterback than Troy Aikman. But for the general population, if you were to ask that question, they would tell you Troy Aikman.
When you say general population, are you looking at 40-plus-year-olds or 40-under-year-olds? Because obviously you and me are under that 40 age, and we...
but I grew up.
We grew up on Tony, or we grew up on Troy Aikman, but we were still pretty young. We didn't quite understand how football really worked, but then we saw Tony Romo play, and you can tell how smart he is and how great he is by the commentary he does for the CBS.
No,
he's getting
I agree.
paid more commentating than he is as a player. Imagine that.
I'm a little older than you, so I understood football when Troy Aikman was playing. I was 13 when they won their first Super Bowl, so I had a pretty good grasp on football.
Yeah.
But the general population of my age, let's just say my age, I'm 37, so the general population would probably say Troy Aikman.
Right.
Why? Because he has all those Super Bowl rings. But let's go look at stats. Stats-wise, he was all right. He wasn't that great, you know what I mean?
Right.
But then when you're sitting down and you're talking about the GOATs, how many times does Dan Marino come up in that conversation?
Slim to very few for the average football fan. Now for the person like me that is an eye test, not a stat guy by any means, I have to put him in the top 3 simply from watching from his college tape to him in the 80s and early 90s as a Miami Dolphin. He did something great with that team. Granted, he never won the Super Bowl. I gotta know if clearly I wasn't born then. I gotta know what happened that. I think he went to the Super Bowl in 85 or 86, I think it was, and they just lost. I gotta know what happened. I never saw that game. I'd never seen highlights. I mean, he is not the greatest because there are better players around him, and I don't think it's defined by Super Bowl championships.
Yeah, I mean, and then you got Trent Dilfer, who has a Super Bowl.
Yeah, and he is definitely not even a top 100 quarterback, is he?
He's not even in the conversation at all.
So,
all right.
Well, no, let me ask you this. All time, I don't care. You can go back to the 1800s. Who are your top 5 quarterbacks of all time, just off the top of your head, not by stats or anything?
In order?
Yeah. Starting with with number 5.
Number 5 would be Dan Marino. Number 4 would be Steve Young.
That's a good one.
Number 3 would be Peyton Manning. No. Number 3, I would say Peyton Manning. Number 2, as much as I hate to say it, Tom Brady. And number 1,
Joe Montana.
Joe Montana.
Right.
Cool Joe.
So what? Your top 4 all had at least 2 Super Bowl rings, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Peyton is the lowest with the 2 Super Bowl rings, but Dan Marino still top your top 5, even without winning Super Bowls. When you have other quarterbacks, Terry Bradshaw, he has 2, right? Troy Aikman has 3? John Elway has back-to-back. He has 2. How about that freaking Jets quarterback that always wore that big old fur that
Joe
coat.
Namath?
Yeah, Joe.
He only had
Joe
one.
Namath.
He had one.
Yeah, but still, he had a Super Bowl. So you're still putting Dan Marino as a top 5 greatest quarterback of all time without any Super Bowl rings. So how can you define greatness when Super Bowls when you have a top 5 quarterback ever without any Super Bowl rings?
I'm just a different kind of person. You know what I mean? Like I look at the eye test, man. I actually look at quarterbacks and how they play.
Yeah. So guys, in the comments, let us know, is Super Bowls a definement of greatness? Now we kind of narrowed it down, like around the quarterback, but then you got to look at like wide receivers and tailbacks, right? Are they defined by quarterbacks as well, or by Super Bowl rings as well? I don't think so. Are you thinking there?
What was the question? Not bad.
Now, this conversation was defined by quarterbacks, by winning Super Bowl rings, and by greatness. But now let's talk about running backs and receivers. Are their Super Bowl rings defined by greatness?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I mean, let's go. My top 5 running backs of all time. Number 5, Bo Jackson. Number 4 would probably be Walter Payton, Jim Brown, Barry Sanders, and number 1, Emmitt Smith.
And Zeke is not even the top 5.
No, he's not there. He's not there yet.
Yeah. So I guess I got to ask you, like, we got to narrow down the debate to just quarterbacks. Do quarterbacks define greatness by Super Bowls? And
I think so. I think they do.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to be known as the greatest of all time, you've got to lead your team to the championship, right? The quarterback is the driver of the ship. That is the man. You know what I mean? So if you can't take your team to a Super Bowl, what are we doing?
Right. And like there's actually at some point about this time last year, it was right when Eli Manning retired. I did a survey of every quarterback that had two or more Super Bowl wins. How many of them are like in the Hall of Fame? It was all of them but 2 or 3, I think it was, and the names are slipping my mind right now. So clearly, us obviously we don't vote for the Hall of Fame, but Hall of Fame voters and whatnot basically use the Super Bowl as a measuring stick. So I have to give you that point, but there's also quarterbacks in the Hall of Fame that have never won the Super Bowl too. So with that being said, I do kind of gotta jump on your bandwagon, unfortunately, and say that Super Bowls as a quarterback is defined by greatness.
Yeah, it does. It defines your greatness. I mean, if you can't win a Super Bowl, then I'm sorry. I mean, let's be honest. Phillip Rivers, great quarterback. Let's be honest, great quarterback. He's an elite quarterback, league, right? He's a great quarterback.
Yeah.
Is he? Does anybody really consider him a GOAT? Or
out of that class that he was drafted in, he is still third because he hasn't won a Super Bowl. That class being Ben Roethlisberger, Eli Manning, and then Phillip Rivers. Right now, he's still third in that class because he doesn't have a Super Bowl. Yes, I will give you that. If he wins a Super Bowl this year or the next year, he has 2 years on the deal that he signed with the Colts. I could see him jumping up to number 2. Many people are going to say Eli had a better career than Phillip Rivers because
that get their first Pro Bowl this season.
Number 1 is going to be McCole Hardman, a wide receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs. He was a rookie last year. Didn't get a lot of I could see McCole Hardman jumping up into that number 2 receiver for Patrick Mahomes. They're going to be consistently doubling Travis Kelce all season. He's going to have a great year. 100 to 110 targets. I could easily see him breaking the 1,500 mark as yards, 10 to 15 touchdowns as like as well. Next up, you did definitely put me on the spot. I should have asked you this already.
I got one for you.
Go ahead.
And he's a rookie. Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson. Okay.
From LSU. I think he's going to have a huge year. He balled out and in LSU. He was a big part of the the LSU Tigers winning a championship. And he's gonna have Kirk Cousins throwing to him, so he's gonna have a decent quarterback throwing to him. I think he's gonna add to that Vikings offense, and I think he gets a Pro Bowl his first year. And let me give you another one.
Do it.
Josh Allen.
He didn't make the Pro Bowl last year?
No, sir.
Okay. Josh Allen from the Kentucky, the defensive end? Or the quarterback?
No, the
quarterback for the Buffalo Bills?
Yeah.
Okay. You think he's going to have a successful season? 11-5 season, 5,000 yards?
Yep. I won't say 5,000 yards, but he'll have 4,500. I think he'll get his Pro Bowl this year.
Yeah, that is kind of not. I mean, that's a safe pick because I think the winner of that division, that quarterback, will probably be would go to the Pro Bowl because you're going to have Stidham, you're going to have Josh Allen.
Excuse me, Josh Allen.
Yeah, that's what I said, right? Josh Allen.
Yeah,
and then I'm going to do you one better here. I'm going to stay quarterback. I'm going to go to the AFC side as well. I'm going to say Baker Mayfield.
Man, I knew you were going to say that.
I think he has a coming out party because Case Keenum is breathing down his neck, wanting to take that starting job from him. Baker Mayfield's going to step up. He's going to have a healthy Odell Beckham Jr.
Hold on, wait a minute. Didn't you just tell me the other night that Baker Mayfield's going to be sitting on the bench?
You know what? I digress on that because I thought Jarvis Landry was going to miss the season because he had that offseason hip surgery, and I thought he was already ruled out for this year. But I read on a blog on the RTF Sports Network page that he has already been been catching passes from Baker. So with a guy, I think that is a make or break point for the Cleveland Browns is a healthy Jarvis Landry. I think he will make that team click or not click. It is not Chubb. It is not Odell Beckham Jr. It is not Kareem Hunt. Whoever else to have that like over there. I think Jarvis Landry is that key 100%.
Jameson put it in the comment that Nick Bosa will make the Pro Bowl. Man, he was named to the Pro Bowl. The only reason why he didn't go to the Pro Bowl is because of the Super Bowl. He was right. Voted on to go. We're talking about people that weren't even voted on.
I do like that Kinlaw, but unfortunately, Bosa is going to overshadow everything that he does. Obviously, Jameson is a 49ers fan here, so why else would you pick all 49ers? But whatever. Also, since you put me on the spot to put 3 right before we go to break here, Tyler Lockett for the Seattle Seahawks as well. My Kansas State boy here. He has quietly becoming a very, very great receiver. The number 1 target over there in Seattle. much like Jordy Nelson was coming out of college, it took him 3 or 4 years to really understand the NFL game. Some little background story on Jordy. He played safety in high school. He played cornerback in college until his senior year when he was moved to wide receiver. So he only had 1 year of wide receiver experience before he went to the Packers, drafted as a NFL receiver. Shows you how great athlete he was.
You want to know another one?
Go ahead.
From the Bills.
From the Bills.
Got traded to the Bills. Stephon Diggs.
He hasn't made it to a Pro Bowl?
No. Never has made a Pro Bowl in the 5 seasons that he has played.
I might have to fact check you on that one. Like that just doesn't seem right at all.
Hey, you know what? Here we go. Let's fact check it right now. Look at this. Let me show you.
But yeah, that could definitely be a sleeper pick as well.
Look at that. Look at that. Stephon Diggs Pro Bowl. Diggs has never made a Pro Bowl in 5 seasons.
Okay. I'll give you that one. So if you guys agree with our picks like at all there, go ahead and comment below. And also, before we head to a quick break, share this with a couple friends, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And on the other side of the break, we are going to pick quite arguably one of the best divisions or the most up-in-the-air divisions in football, and the Detroit Lions and that NFC, what are they, the Central? I don't know. But what they are. Whatever. We'll be right back.
Step in the kitchen. Let's go. Brand new Lamborghini, a cop car. With a pistol on my hip like I'm a cop.
Gotta rock Mike's song 100% of the time.
This ain't no guitar, but this a Glock. My Glock told me to promise you gon' squeeze me. You better let me go the day you need me. Put me on that, get the bus. And if I ain't enough.
And welcome back to Just for Clicks, guys. Michael Buckeyes are here along with my host, Mike LeBlanc. And Mike, as we were on break, we had a question come in. Has Chris Godwin made a Pro Bowl? Can you go ahead and fact check us on that before we start breaking down the Detroit Lions?
Let's take a look.
And it's the NFC North. I just want to say Central for some reason.
Yes, he was voted to the Pro Bowl, but he did not play because he had a hamstring injury.
Yeah, so as a player, do you really want to go to the Pro Bowl? Hell no, you want to be in the Super Bowl. But it is that time of night. We are going to break down the 2020 Detroit Lions NFC North Division champions here. Just to add some depth to them, they did finish 4th in the NFC North last year at a 3-12-1 record, that tie coming to the Arizona Cardinals after the Cardinals gave up a 28-point lead in the first half. Just some draft picks here. They did draft cornerback, number 3 overall, Jeff Abuka from Ohio State. Drafted DeAndre Swift from Georgia, running back. And then they went outside linebacker from Notre Dame, offensive guard, and then wide receiver. So definitely putting some protecting and giving some running game for Matthew Stafford. With that being said, they do open up the season at home, taking on the Chicago Bears. Who you got?
I got the Lions winning this game. I think they win their season opener against the Bears.
You damn straight you do.
The Bears are, like I said, the Bears are going to be a dumpster fire this year. It's only a matter of time before they figure out they need to get rid of Trubisky, if they haven't already. And I still can't believe they picked Trubisky over Patty Mahomes.
Coming out of college, Trubisky did look good. Let's be honest, when you saw Patrick Mahomes at Texas Tech playing your Longhorns, for those 2-3 seasons that he played, you didn't think he was going to be the greatest quarterback of all time. He looked like a pretty good college quarterback. That's just the way. That's just the way it is. I'm giving it all up to coaching and learning behind Alex Smith. But let's go ahead and get back to the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions win this game because the Chicago Bears are just like what you said. They are a dumpster fire. They don't even know who the hell their quarterback is going to be. Nick Foles has come into camp and told Matt Nagy that he is going to take that starting job from Mitchell Trubisky. So we'll see what happens. Jameson agrees with us in the chat as well. Harry, the Lions go 6-10. We shall see. I think you had that backwards, 10-6, brother.
No, I think Henry is right on point.
But moving on, they travel to Lambeau to take on the Green Bay Packers. Who do you got?
I got the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers at home is too much, especially early in the season.
He's got a point to prove this season.
Yeah. The only thing I could see here is if they happen to get in a shootout, who is Aaron Rodgers going to throw to early? That's the only thing that I question, because their wide receiver core is a bunch of unknowns. But we've seen this before. Tom Brady had a bunch of unknown wide receivers, and now they're all household names. So maybe he can make something happen. Moving on to the next week, they do travel to Arizona to take on the Cardinals again. Who do you got?
Arizona.
Ooh, that is a dumb pick, Mike.
No, it is not. Hops is going to go off on that game.
He is going to go off to the sideline asking for water.
Oh, my God.
That's the only thing he's going to go off on.
You're smoking crack, son.
I'm not snorting it.
And you're smoking it.
But with that being said, give me the Detroit Lions. Last year, they proved that they could hang with the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, the Arizona Cardinals gave up a 28-point lead last year. Ending in a tie, I believe it was like 35-35 or something to that effect. I don't have the score in front of me. But the Detroit Lions are scary good. They are a sleeper. I'm telling you guys. Look out for the Detroit freaking Lions. Moving on to the next week, they at home take on the New Orleans Saints. Who do you got?
I got the Saints. That offense is too much for that Lions defense, sir.
We have not broke down the Saints yet, but they have a pretty tough first schedule. Like they open up early with Tom Brady and the Bucks Super Bowl contenders, Super Bowl favorites. This is a trap game for the New Orleans Saints. 100%. They are on the road. That 1 o'clock kickoff game in Detroit.
It's not a trap game. This early.
It is.
No way.
They're going to be so hyped off of beating Tom Brady and the Bucks. Every game after that's going to be a letdown. You don't want. I mean, people have this game circled like, oh, that is an automatic win. Give me the Detroit Lions. Start the season off 3-1. Jameson, you and Mike are 100% wrong. 1-3 to start the season. Get out of here with that crap.
Yes, sir.
Week 5, they're on a bye. Next week, they're at Jacksonville.
Yeah, they need that bye to go home and lick their wounds. Jacksonville.
They were at home.
No, I'm talking about like go to their home, sit on the couch and lick their wounds. I got the Lions winning against the Jaguars. Jaguars, I don't think I think the Jaguars are only going to win maybe 1 or 2 games this season. So give me the Lions in this one. Yeah, Jacksonville Jaguars are dumpster fire.
Give me the Lions as well. Matt Patricia does come from the Tom Brady or the Bill Belichick coaching tree. He knows how to prepare a team coming off the bye week. Looking at this bye week, this is way too early for the Detroit Lions. They needed a late bye week. This early bye week is definitely going to hurt them in the long run. But they're back on the road again last weekend of October to take on the Atlanta Falcons at the Mercedes Dome. Who do you got?
Back at home with the
they're on the road.
On the road against the Falcons. I think the Lions win this game. I've said it in the past shows. Falcons are in rebuild mode. All they've got is Julio Jones and Matty Ice. I have the Lions winning this game.
Yeah, as much as I do like the Detroit Lions this year, I don't think they're going to travel to Atlanta. I think Matty Ice is going to put the Lions on ice and win this game, moving them to 4-2 on the season. First weekend of November, they're at home, take on the Indianapolis Colts.
Ooh, I've got the Colts winning this game. Phillip Rivers has a monstrous game against the Lions.
This game I've been going back and forth on all day. The reason why I've been going back and forth of it is because I don't know where Phillip Rivers is going to be yet learning this offense. Like, this is the first weekend of November. This is a road game, so obviously they're still in a dome, but Detroit's a hard place to play in. But I have faith in Phillip Rivers. I think the Colts are going to pull it out, making them 4-3 on the season. And you had the Colts winning, right?
Yep.
So you are at 3-4. Moving on to the next week, they're on the road to take on a division foe, the Minnesota Vikings. Skull this.
I'm gonna have to go with Skull. Vikings are gonna take it to the Lions.
What time is this? This game's at 1:00 on CBS. It's not a prime time, so Kurt is going to show up and have a decent game. Give me the Vikings just
you gotta
because.
give Kirk Cousins more credit than that, man.
How many primetime games has he won?
You know, that's
One.
all fine and dandy. Well, you know, I can't wait for this. I can't wait for this damn season. You know why? I can't wait for this season for everything that you have said is proven wrong.
See right here, Mike. I painted this just for you. This Chiefs red because I'm going to have our schedules up there, and all my picks are going to be highlighted green. Right pick, right pick, right pick, and yours is going to be all red and pink, so people can't see it. They're like, oh, it is just a shadow. Right now, I had the Vikings beating the Lions, unfortunately, giving them 4-4 on the season so far. You have them at 3-5. Jameson's at 5-3. I wonder who he's been picking. Harry has them at 3-5 as well. Moving on to the next week, they're at home, take on the Washington Redskins. Do I need to ask?
No, I think the Lions got this. Redskins, they don't know what they're doing over there. I do think this is the last year that they don't know what the hell they're doing with Rivera there. 2021, they start getting it rolling. And I'm going to, as a Cowboys fan, I'm going to be a little scared of the Redskins.
You shouldn't be. They still got Dwayne Haskins, a bust quarterback there.
Yeah, but look what Rivera did with Cam Newton.
Does Cam Newton have a job right now? I'm just asking for a friend.
He doesn't, and he should. Okay. You know who should sign Cam Newton?
Dallas Cowboys.
You damn right, and get Dak Prescott the hell out of there.
So this is the part of the season where the Detroit Lions are going to hit a streak. They got a stream of games here that are very, very winnable. Washington Redskins being one of them. This is the turning point of the season. Everything's starting to come on together. Look for Swift, the running back from Georgia, to have a pretty good game versus this front seven of the Washington Redskins. This is his coming out party. Giving them 5-4 on the season so far. You have them at 4-5. Jameson's at 6-3. He is a Lions lover right now. Harry at 4-5 over there, like in the chat. Moving on to the next game, traveling to South Carolina, or is it North Carolina, to take on the Carolina Panthers.
This is a tough game because the Panthers are tough at home. But I'm going to give it to the Lions. I think they pull it out, and I think they stop Christian McCaffrey, and he doesn't run wild. Listen, any team that can hold Christian McCaffrey to 60, 70, 80 yards a game, you're going to win that game. Right. That's the key to stopping the Panthers. I mean, they have Teddy Bridgewater. Don't get me wrong. He's a decent quarterback. He's a game manager for sure. But I don't think he is the quarterback for that team.
He is not the quarterback, and that's why the Lions win this game. They go into Charlotte, Carolina. Is that North Carolina or South Carolina? Somebody help me out there. I think it's North Carolina.
I have no idea.
It doesn't matter. It's Carolinas. They take a flight to Charlotte. They whoop the Panthers' butt. They shut down Christian McCaffrey. What was hurting the Detroit Lions last year was defense. They went defense in the draft. They win this game, and they win big. Back at home the last weekend of Thanksgiving Day, versus the Houston Texans. Who do you got?
I've got the Lions beating the Texans. A lot of people are going to beat the Texans this season. And yes, I know they still have your boy Deshaun Watson over there, but Deshaun Watson
put a precedence on his name.
He is not Tom Brady. He's not Aaron Rodgers. He's not Peyton Manning. He's not there.
So the one thing that I hate about these Thursday games is that the road team usually has a disadvantage. But there's something about these Thanksgiving games that I absolutely love. Usually the Detroit Lions lose at home and the Cowboys lose at home on Thanksgiving Day for whatever reason. Like, I don't know if there's a curse or they're just that bad or whatever. But the Detroit Lions beat the Houston Texans at home on Thanksgiving Day. At 2:00 when I sit down for my family dinner, my dad is riding sky high. He is wearing his freaking Matthew Stafford jersey, wearing it proud, pumping it out his chest. Yeah, we did that, giving them 7-4, moving on to the season. Moving on to the next week after 10 days off, they travel to Chicago to take on the Bears. Who do you got?
I've got the Bears. They'll split it with the Bears this season. The Bears are good even in this game.
They sweep the Bears. They go into Soldier Field. Hey, I told you they're riding high right now. They've won 3 games in a row. You know
2.
what that is called? That's called a winning streak.
They've only won 2. Calm down. The Panthers and Texans.
They go into Soldier Field because the Chicago Bears are probably checked out at this point. They don't know who the hell their quarterback is. Is it Nick Foles? Is it Mitchell Trubisky? Is it Cam Newton? Is it Aaron freaking Rodgers? Who knows? If it's Aaron Rodgers, they'll win this game, but it's not going to be Aaron Rodgers.
By this time, Nick Foles will be the starting quarterback.
Probably, but have you heard the myth or the facts about Nick Foles? He sucks in every uniform but the Philadelphia Eagles. He can be starting quarterback all he wants. He's going to be trash.
We'll see.
We will see because he's going to be trash. So moving on to the next week, they're at home taking on the Green Bay Packers.
I got the Green Bay Packers in this one, baby. Go Pack, go.
Go Pack, go.
Pack, go.
Go Pack home because they're packing their way home with the L's. They're going to hand those L's over them to them.
By this time, they have either picked up both AB and Dez, or they picked up one of them, and they actually gives Aaron Rodgers a target to throw to. Look for the Packers to be really dangerous towards the second half of the season.
Yeah, the second half of the season, just not against the Detroit Lions, because the Detroit Lions are winning this NFC North. They're going to sweep the Bears. They're going to sweep the Packers. So give me a win. Give me that win.
No.
This is a close game, though. This is going to be a slugfest. 9-6 type of score. No touchdowns are scored. All field goals. 9-6.
I need to call your wife and tell her to come down to the basement and make sure there is no crack, because you are smoking a lot of it right now.
Hey, truth is coming out of my mouth, and when truth comes out, I just cannot stop it. It is not my fault that you're blasting me out in the. You had them 6 and 7 right now.
Yeah.
Get that crap out of here.
No.
But they're on the road for the next week, taking on the Tennessee Titans. Who do you got?
Tennessee Titans, and I have them winning this game, and I have Derrick Henry having a huge game. Even though the Lions went defense to stop the run, no, sir. Mark Henry gets it done. Mark Henry.
Derrick WWF wrestler, right? Mark Henry, the world's
Derrick
man.
Henry. Derrick Henry gets it done. He goes off for 150, 160 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Lay it on him, why don't you? And I agree with you. I think the Tennessee Titans are just a little bit too much for the Detroit Lions. They are riding high right now on a 4-game winning streak. They need to come back down to it, to reality, collect their thoughts. And this is after this 4-game winning streak that they're on, they are looking over the Tennessee Titans because they're looking forward to the next week take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home and Tom Brady. Who do you got in that one?
I've got the Bucs winning this game. It's a close game. It's 13-10.
And you know what? I think the Lions win this game. Matt Patricia knows how to stop Tom Brady. He was the defensive coordinator for many, many years over there in Patriot Land. You know where Tom Brady used to play?
The Giants.
Yeah, that's a good, close guess there, but he was a New England Patriot for, 17 years or whatever it was, since 2001. Matt Patricia knows how to stop Tom Brady. Put pressure on him, make him force the ball where he doesn't know how to force it because he's used to dinking and dunking. The Detroit Lions win this game. Moving on to the next game at home, probably for the division versus the Minnesota Vikings. Who do you got?
For sure. This game is for the division, but not for the Lions. It's for the division for the Vikings. And I've got, someone is going to be really mad at me, but I've got the Lions beating the Vikings, and Green Bay comes away with the division.
So you are giving the Lions a 7-9 season, much improved from the 3 wins from last season, and I think I really in my heart, looking at the schedule, believe that the Lions are going to win this division. They will split with the Vikings, meaning they will win this last game at the home, making them a record 10-6, and winning the tiebreaker versus the Minnesota Vikings because they beat Green Bay twice, and Minnesota Vikings is going to split with them. So I have them going 10-6. You have them going 7-9. Are there any games that you circle on there that you picked as losses that could possibly be a win and make them an 8-8 and maybe a wild card team?
They're gonna have to beat the Packers in December, and
you have them splitting with the Packers, right?
I do.
So when you say
no, I have Packers winning both games.
Okay, so you say if they split with the Packers, they could possibly make a playoff berth there?
Yeah, they're going to have to split with the Packers, and they're going to have to sweep the Bears.
I mean, I think they're going to sweep the Bears either way. Like, I think we're both on the same boat. They're kind of trash. They don't really know what direction they're going. Like, I don't like what they were a playoff team a couple years ago, and they've been downhill since. But for like, I have them going 10-6, obviously, but 2 games that I'm circling right now is that home game versus the Packers. That's definitely a must win. If they lose that game, I could easily see them winning or losing the last 4 games of the season versus the Titans, versus the Bucks, and versus the Vikings, and then that would definitely knock them out of any division or playoff consideration that they were in. So, with that being said, guys, it is time for another great segment here. And it is the 2-minute warning.
That'll bring us to the 2-minute warning.
And on tonight's 2-minute warning, we have went over the onside kick rule and whatnot. But I want to jump back into the Rooney rule again. I've talked about it 3 times so far this week. And the more I read about it, the more it upsets me. Why do we have to encourage people to hire minorities? Why? It is absolutely stupid, absolutely asinine, and I think this is just simply a bad look for the NFL moving forward, that they have to encourage people to hire, minority people. If you're not qualified for the job, you're not. But then it gets deeper. Have you guys ever watched First Take? Probably the most overrated show on ESPN, hands down. Stephen A. Smith talks out his butt more than Mike LeBlanc does. It is absolutely ridiculous.
Wow!
He says, why aren't there any black owners? Me and my wife were sitting there watching him. Is like, most of the owners are passed down from generation to generation of the family. It is not like they're blackballing them from owning a NFL team. It has been passed down by generation to generation to generation. The last NFL team that I think that can be bought was the Dallas Cowboys by Jerry Jones, and he just happened to have the $1 billion that it cost to buy the Dallas Cowboys. So it is not the fact that they don't want a black owner or need a black owner. It's just the fact that there's not a black person in the generational family. Let's break down to it. That is what it is. Stop with all this racism crap. It is absolutely stupid, absolutely asinine. Who cares at the end of the day? Do you care who owns your NFL team? Hell no.
No.
Do you care if your NFL team wins the Super Bowl? Hell
Yes.
yeah. And how many quarterbacks in the NFL right now are black that are going to win the Super Bowl? There's only one. It's going to be Patrick Mahomes. Simple as that. Mike, closing thoughts.
Patrick Mahomes will win another Super Bowl if he can get past Lamar Jackson and company.
There's no getting past it because Lamar Jackson can't pass.
Do I need to bring up the graphic that I sent you today?
You can bring up all you want. It doesn't matter. Numbers lie, son.
Touchdowns do not lie, son. Touchdowns do not lie. What?
For the stats that he is bringing up, I'll bring it up. He says in 2019, Lamar Jackson had 19 pocket touchdowns. Okay, cool. 10 of them came in 2 games. More than
any quarterback in the league.
10 of them came in two games. Take out those first 2 weeks of that season, he has 9.
No. You're smoking crack. Again.
I'm not smoking crack. Numbers
guys.
lie, son. Face it.
No.
Just for clicks, guys. Michael Buckheiser, Mike LeBlanc. Catch you guys next time. Sunday night, 9:30 p.m. East Coast time. Missing part of the show, rtsportsnetwork.com, noon East Coast time. Mike, as always, it's a pleasure, brother.
We out. We love you guys.